Why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. You waiting on the boy to fail, then hold your breath and face your death. Cause you play a roulette with each step I progress, no less. Go ahead and place your bets, cause we know where we at, we know we top tier. Cause all the hate that you bring, we know it stops here. I'm taking off like a rocketeer, ain't stopping here. It's strange how they cannot see the future but see profit here. Wait up, we gon' always win. Promise that that's not a promise here, that is a threat. You know that I promise to bring the team commas. When the whole team win, that's when you flex. Win, and I'ma do it again. Watch me win.
Leaving it there.
And she takes a bow.
Official Strongman Games 2024. What a competition. I'm really excited to go over it today. There will be little bits about my performance, but mainly about loads of other incredible things that happened, to be honest. But I want to start off by just talking about the location and the venue. So it's no secret that last year a lot of the athletes weren't a fan of the location. So it was in Charleston, West Virginia. The stadium that it was in, so the arena that it was in, looked awesome on the live stream, looked great on the photos. It was a great stage, but there wasn't actually much athlete space. So if you weren't competing or warming up, you were like in the stands and all your stuff had to be kept in the seats. And it was, yeah, it felt a bit uncomfortable as an athlete. This year, 100 times better. Madison was a pretty cool place. There were things to do, things to see. It was only 2 hours from Chicago, so myself and Lucy went over together, and then we went and spent a couple of days in Chicago after. So we got to make more of a trip out of it, which was fantastic. So we really enjoyed that. And in terms of the venue, there was so much space. So we obviously could sit in the stands and watch the other athletes, but there were also tables out the back, chairs out the back, loads of space where we could sit, chill, hang out, plenty of warm-up space. The only thing with warm-ups that I would say could have been better was for the wrecking ball, but everything else was spot on, and it was a great athlete experience. Adding to that, we had a change in how we normally do it. So typically it is all categories do event 1, all categories do event 2, and so on and so forth. Whereas this year it was 2 categories at a time do event 1 and 2, and then on the next day they do event 3 and 4. And then it has the normal format for the finals. As an athlete, this worked much, much better. It did run very fast paced, but I quite like that. It means as soon as you're done with one event, you go, you warm up for the next event and you go. There's no hanging around, getting cold, getting too nervous. So I really appreciated that as an athlete. And I've heard a lot of people say in terms of the live stream that it was much better to watch. They could follow the athletes that they wanted to follow, watch the classes that they wanted to watch. So that seemed like a really huge success. So it's cool to see Lynn Morehouse and OSG as an entity taking that feedback into consideration and making improvements for both the athletes and the fans. So big win on that. In terms of my performance, I'm neither chuffed nor disappointed, just quite content. I think it was one of my most consistent performances. I finished all of the qualifying events normally. Like last year I had a shocker on the deadlift ladder, and then I didn't finish one of the medleys. But the qualifying events went pretty well. There was the sandbag and push medley. I don't know what happened there, but I had a real bad time on that. But it was what it was. And my highlight for myself was the car walk. That was bloody great, and I really enjoyed it. So my performance was neither here nor there. I coming 6th in the world. It's pretty damn good, and I'm really fortunate. It was my 4th OSG, and I think my 8th world final if you take into account Natural Strongman and the Arnold Amateur as well. So to come podium in 4 of those competitions, come top 6 in all but 1, it's pretty good, and I'm pretty happy with that. But to my other 73 ladies, what a show. The under 73 kilo class was pretty busy this year. Like, it was like there were so many talented athletes, and even on like my best day, I think I still would have placed where I placed. So that, yeah, that's how it was. But Above me, we had Nicola and Bennett, incredible. She had a difficult day one, but then was just like on a complete stormer after that. And it was really, really cool to watch. She's had a phenomenal year and I was really happy to see her finish it off with a really solid performance at Worlds. Laura de Burt-Romilly from Canada just gets better and better and better. I know she's talking about maybe going up a weight class. The cuts are getting harder for her, but again, she had a really solid performance. She was holding on to podium for most of the show, so I know that she was a little frustrated at the 4th place, but she should be really proud. She's an incredible athlete. She's only like 23 maybe. And yeah, ridiculously strong and talented and just a lovely human being. Then on podium we had Camilla Fognolo, Nancy Johnson and Erin Murray, and what a show between Nancy? That's what they should be called, Nancy and Erin. It was awesome. They were great, and before the show I was really looking forward to competing with Erin. I think she's a phenomenal athlete, obviously having competed from 73 right up to open and being competitive in all of those classes. It was just a privilege to get to compete with her and all the other girls as well. But just to put into perspective, I said this to a lot of the people when I was at the competition, but to put into perspective how good our class was, like in the wrecking ball hold, from the 73s right up to the opens, we all had the same weight. My time that got me 7th place in the 73s would have got me 2nd place in the opens. Like, it's just wild. Our class was so good at that. I was standing up there with the other 3 girls. So I was like, I'm pretty good at this event. And then I was like, oh, God damn, I'm the worst at this event. But it was really, really fun. But there's a lot of other things to talk about in this competition that I just found incredible and amazing. And normally when I compete, I'm very much in my own head, and I think to do well you have to be quite selfish and you're concentrating on what you're doing. But genuinely this year at OSG I got far more joy from seeing what other people were doing, and I got far more excited about what other people were doing. So I want to share some of those things on this video. Firstly, I want to talk about the under 64 kilo class. In my opinion, they are the most competitive women's class there is and have been for quite a while. Not in terms of like the top handful, because I think the top handful in every class are very competitive, but in terms of the depth, it is crazy. Like, these girls are 64 kilos, 140 pounds. They're doing 200 kilo deadlifts for reps, 80 kilo logs for reps. And like, the girls who are placing like mid of the top 10 are still getting like over 5 reps on the deadlift. Like, it was wild. They are so strong, and there were only 1.5 points between 1st and 3rd place. So there was Crystal Stancic, Meg Latta and Camilla Fognolo for the top 3 in that class. And yeah, it was, whenever I watch them, I'm just like, you are incredible. And you look at people who have won pro shows or podiumed at Worlds before, and they're not on the podium, and that is mind-blowing that it moves around that much. Like, in the 64s now, especially that Rhiannon has stepped back from competition, going into it, you really don't know who is going to win, and it's all to play for. And I just find that really exciting to watch. So the 64s were an absolute blast to see compete. Another thing that was exciting with the lightweight classes was the under 80 kilo class. So that was close all weekend. And going into the last event, so going into stones, there were 3 athletes. So Tommy Lavelle, Josh Kowalowski and Dylan Thompson, who were all tied on points going into the last event. So whoever placed best on the stones took the title. That is a lot of pressure, but also shows the standard of that class and how close everybody is, which I just found really, really exciting as a fan to watch. So that was really cool. Dylan Thompson did take the title, with Tommy in 2nd and Josh in 3rd, but all 3 athletes, absolutely incredible performances all weekend. And my 3rd lightweight excitement was Filip Zajicek. I hope I've said that right. He is called Bunny of Steel on Instagram, because now we know most people by their Instagram handles right. And he absolutely stormed the under 90 kilo class and won by 10.5 points. 10.5 points in a class that is that competitive, where previous world champions didn't make the top 10. Like, that is the depth of this class. Like, phenomenal athletes missed out on finals, and he took the lead by 10.5 points. So with previous champions and insane athletes in the 90s not making the finals, to win that class by 10.5 points is just mind-blowing and shows what an incredibly consistent athlete he is. Like, to be that far ahead on points, you can't have a weak event. You have to be good at everything. And he is only 19 years old. 19 years old. And just a lovely, humble person as well. I spoke to him at the start of the weekend at weigh-ins, and he was like, ginger power, and he said he was very like confident going into it. He said he'd been sick in the summer, but he was feeling really good coming into this. And I think he knew what could possibly happen. And as soon as he saw a glimmer of that, he absolutely ran with it. And it was just a seriously impressive performance, and I'm really excited to see where his career leads him, because he's already reached the pinnacle in the 90 kilo class so early on. So that's going to be really, really cool to watch unfold. And then the final thing that I wanted to cover on OSG 2024 is the fact that 4 women got their 3rd World Strongest Woman title. That is absurd. 4 people who are so elite that they are on their 3rd title. So first off, we have Rebecca Roberts, who is now 3 times World Strongest Woman in the open class. And I've heard, she's told me she wants 5, so she is not done yet. We had Nadia Stowers, who won her 3rd world title in the under 82 kilo class. She's been pretty dominant in the under 82 class for quite a few years, to be honest, at OSG. Obviously, Erin took the title last year. It was a close competition, but Nadia got it back this year. But talking about Erin, she also got her 3rd world title, this time in the under 73 kilo class. So she has now got 2 titles in the under 73 and 1 in the under 82, and I know she's now prepping for the Arnold, so moving up and doing some more open weight shows, so it'll be exciting to see how she gets on there. That girl, I swear, is made of iron. And Nadia actually as well. Nadia got that world title with an injury. I know she didn't shout about it, but if you watch the sled push, you can literally see something happen and it goes, and she couldn't finish that. And she just carried on. Like, she has such a steel face. She's just like, there's a job to be done, and I'm not done yet. I'm gonna go and do it. And that resilience is just crazy to me, and so impressive. To win a world title with an injury, especially when the last day is like throwing bags and stones, where you're going to have to extend, but she just didn't. Her feet stayed flat on the ground with those events, and it just blew my mind. And Erin, again, absolute mindset of a champion. She did a gnarly cut, and that's something I might talk about in another video, and like the cuts and things in strongman, but I was really, really genuinely concerned for her when I saw her on the weigh-in day. I spoke to her after and said this, but on the day I was like, I don't think I should speak to Erin, because she looks like she's about to keel over. Like, she looked so ill. She was grey. I was like, how the hell is this girl gonna compete for 3 days after being like that? And she did. The next day she came out and she absolutely killed it. I do not know how. Mind-blowing. And her mindset to succeed and keep achieving is crazy. Like, she has not even started. I don't think she has so much more that she wants to do, and I can't wait to see her do it. I am along for the ride. I think she's epic. And then our 4th lady who got her 3rd title was Mrs. Claire Myler in the Masters over 50s class. It's no secret that she is dominant in that class, and I think it's really cool actually for older women, women around Claire's age, to see what can be done. Like, she is so strong. And also worth noting that she competed in 2 classes and got a trophy in the under 82 kilo class, as well as the Masters over 50. So not only is she dominant in her own weight class, but she can more than hold her own in an open age class, weight class as well. And her performances like just got better each day. So she'd do the 50s and it would be good, and then the under 82s performance would be even better. I train with Claire a lot and see the work that she puts in behind the scenes, see the niggles and injuries that she's carrying, but still has this mindset to just carry on and do what she can and get things done. And it's really admirable, and I feel really lucky and privileged to know someone with such a hard work ethic, because it's really, I hate the word, but it is really inspiring and cool to see. So that they were my highlights of OSG. There were a lot of things that were really cool, but just as soon as it finished, seeing everybody so happy and getting on and dancing around and buzzing with their performances was my favourite part personally. Just, it was a really good vibe after. My head was up my arse through the whole competition. I didn't quite feel myself. I couldn't really switch on. I think I hadn't planned to do OSG this year and then did. And like I said, I was happy with my performance, but maybe need a little break. I'm getting a lot more from coaching at the moment and seeing other people do well. Like, that brings me a lot of joy. There's certain opportunities that I would grab with two hands. So if I was invited to Giants Live again, I would absolutely take that up, because it's been the highlight of my year the last 2 years. But otherwise, 2025 looks like getting all my clients as strong as they can possibly be and as happy as they can possibly be, and growing and developing my skills as a coach and growing the business. There's some exciting things coming in 2025 where I aim to just change people's lives, make people's lives better, help people to realise their potential, and that makes me really, really, really excited. Obviously, I'm still going to train. I've been thinking I might like to try something new as well. Maybe judo and jiu-jitsu are the ones that I'm thinking. But I will still do strong woman training because I enjoy it. But yeah, who knows what 2025 holds for me? I don't know yet. I'm just enjoying the ride. But I am really excited to see what unfolds in strongman and strongwoman in 2025, because 2024 has been epic. So let's watch this space and keep supporting this awesome sport. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, like this video, comment your highlights from OSG, and I will catch you at the next one.
I'ma always win.